So earlier today, I was trying to figure out whether I wanted to do a video with me talking or a video for gameplay. And so, thinking that, hey, I've released a bunch of really weird videos for my friends recently, so maybe I should give them a choice, I went into the Coaster Key Discord channel and went ahead and asked them, would you guys prefer a gameplay or talking video today? At first, the responses were normal. We got talk, which, while redundant, is at least among the correct category. But then we got a banana emoji. And then I foolishly said, so that's one vote for talk and one vote for a banana. We got another talk, and then we had two talk and two banana. They stayed neck and neck. I wondered what I would do if the banana won. And yet, this one person just threw some bananas at me and said that that was answering my question. But then we got another banana. And then this one, which I also count as a banana. And then this one, which is also assuming a banana. And so, my dear viewers, that is why today we will be discussing the banana. Since I've never taken a challenge lying down and have always gloated that I can talk about anything, I gave myself this little challenge. We're going to make a video all about bananas, and we are going to do it with a simple 15 minutes of research, so everything that you're about to hear was researched for about 15 minutes, for all of it, and we're going to try and go as long as we possibly can. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to acquire a banana for this presentation, as all of the stores that would carry one are closed right now that are on campus, and I am unwilling to go out into the depths of the night to go in search for one banana for some dumb show. So instead, we're just going to go ahead and start. So, the banana is technically called a musa, scientifically speaking, and is part of the Musaceae family. The Musaceae family is part of the Zingiberalis order, and this order is actually the same one that the bird of paradise is in. This means that the banana is actually relatively closely related to the bird of paradise, perhaps even more than the typical berries that we might consider today. However, the reason I brought up the fact that there are berries involved in this equation is a banana is, technically speaking, a berry. You see, the technical definition of a berry is a fruit which grows from a single flower but has multiple seeds inside of it. This is the definition of berry that, of course, rules out strawberries as berries because they have all their seeds on the outside, raspberries, again, because those seeds are on the outside, and even things like cherries, which you might think are a berry, because they only have a single pit. Cherries are more like peaches in that way because of the single pit. In this same, going back into the family, the Musaceae family, you have plantains, something that the beautiful person at Harvard who decided to write an entire article about bananas went ahead and called a green banana. They also were very kind to call the typical banana that we like to refer to today as a regular banana as the desert banana. It is also important to note that the desert banana that we know today has been modified over the ages to human taste. In other words, it has been sweetened to a great extent because we as humans really, really like sweet things. This is why at zoos and the like, bananas are not often put into cages, or at least not the typical bananas that you could buy at a store, because again, those ones that you can buy at a store are extremely sweet. It's essentially like giving someone a diet of completely candy, and while some of you viewers, the exact same ones who recommended me do an entire video on bananas, yeah, you might be okay living on an entire diet of candy, we generally don't think that that's a very humane thing to do to animals, and so we typically do not feed them bananas, especially the store-bought human-modified versions of them. But what can bananas do for you? Well, you see, we always talk about the fact that bananas have potassium, but why is potassium important? Well, to answer your question, there's a number of reasons. One of the reasons is that potassium is an electrolyte, which can carry electrical signals through your body. You see, water itself does not actually conduct electricity very well. It's very, very unconductive, actually. The reason why you can get shocked so easily in water is due to all of the impurities in water and also the fact that you're in the water. Electricity hates going through water and will prefer to go through salts and things of this nature, which are extremely electrically conductive. Therefore, things like potassium and sodium, which are electrolytes, are extremely important for the human body to allow those electrical signals to actually go through you, doing things like allowing your brain to send an electrical signal to your hand, which allows it to move freely. This is the kind of system that we rely on daily, needless to say. Another really, really important and kind of fascinating function of potassium in the human body is in something called the sodium-potassium pump. Now, the sodium-potassium pump is actually a kind of way that these nerve signals are sent throughout the body, and in very layman's terms, the way that this works is sodium and potassium have the exact same electrical charge. They are essentially the same thing. So, what it will do is it'll take 3 sodiums, it'll go ahead and take those out of a cell, and it'll take 2 potassiums in. Both are positively charged, but because you are taking out 3 sodiums and only putting in 2 potassiums, you can see that there's a greater positive charge on the outside than in the inside. This creates a potential difference, which in layman's terms is a voltage, which is essentially what allows nerve signals to go ahead and pump through the sodium-potassium pump and through the cell in what scientists like to call an action potential. When this happens, everything goes ahead, resets, and then the sodium-potassium pump has to go back to doing its job using energy in the form of ATP, which is produced through things like cellular respiration, which essentially get the energy from your food, which includes, of course, bananas. Another fun fact about bananas is if you've just thrown up or you've had a bad case of diarrhea or an upset stomach in general, bananas are actually a really good thing for you. But not just a regular old banana. In fact, it's probably preferable if you had an unripe banana, one that was still kind of green. This is because these less ripe bananas have this kind of special starch in them that is digested more slowly and therefore spikes your blood sugar less. This allows you to actually be able to consume these things without it ringing as many alarm bells and making it easier to consume than other foods, which might, cause that same undesirable thing to kind of happen again. But let's say you're not throwing up or don't have a problem like that, but you do have a bunch of unripe bananas and you really just want some really ripe bananas. Well, according to your grandma, your friend, and that random guy on YouTube, apparently putting it into a brown paper bag will help. It'll go ahead and ripen it. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is pretty much true. Putting bananas into a brown paper bag, or any fruit for that matter, does help to ripen it more quickly. And the science behind this is actually kind of simple. If you put it into a plastic paper bag, you stop all of the gases from circulating. This includes oxygen and all the gases produced by the fruit. But if you put it into a brown paper bag, oxygen can actually get through the pores of the brown paper bag and circulate freely. Meanwhile, another thing called ethylene, which is essentially this ripening signal to the fruit, will be trapped inside the bag, which causes the fruit to keep thinking, oh, I should ripen, and so it ripens faster and faster. This is the same reason why if you put unripened fruit next to really ripe fruit, it'll also ripen faster because it is seeing that ethylene from the other fruit and essentially ripening alongside it. Therefore, if you put your bananas into a nice brown paper bag, you'll be able to have them nice and ready for consumption whenever you desire. So, I hope So, I hope you enjoyed this little lesson on all of the science behind bananas. To all of you people that did this and didn't really think that it was going to go anywhere, I hope I proved you wrong. I hope you learned something today, or at least were reminded a little bit of that freshman year bio class that you took. But most of all, I've been the Coaster Keat, and I hope that you guys soar high and enjoy your ride of life. And don't go bananas. Bye!